Hi there. Thank you for stopping by to share with Julie today. I hope you're all having a fantabulous day today. Yeah, so today, what I want to talk about today, we're all gonna die anyway. I've been hearing, people say this time and time again, we're all going to die anyway, as if to say that because we all know we're on this planet for whatever period of time that may be, for some people it might be 100 years, for some people it's 70, for some people it's 30, whatever it is, as if because that is a reality of being alive, that is an excuse not to try to do better in terms of health and in terms of what we do to the environment and of course the other species we share this planet with, because we're not masters of this planet. We're part of the ecosystem just as any other species is. We have trillions of bacteria living inside our bodies, without which we wouldn't be alive. We need them. We wouldn't be able to function without them, and they need us. you know we breathe out carbon dioxide, the plant takes that in. The plant releases oxygen. We need oxygen. And those are just some simplistic examples, but still it's crucial. We are part of a system in which we have to play a role in terms of, what we do to other species that we share the planet with, other animals. The way we treat other animals, the way we treat plants, the way we treat nature in and of itself. The fact that we're producing so many chemicals and we're, releasing it in the soil, releasing them in the atmosphere, putting them in foods. And we're not just affecting ourselves negatively, but the other species which we share this planet with. And so I think, it's not just about the fact that, we're all going to die anywhere. I think we owe responsibility, to not just ourselves, but the other species we share the planet with and our future generation. When a child is born and, a couple months, a couple days, a couple weeks after the child is diagnosed with cancer, or the child has asthma, or has serious eye problems, where did that come from? That came from the parents. That is as a result of genetic weaknesses. Of course, other factors would play a part, but if the genes are strong and the constitution of the parents were strong in the first place, the child's immune system would be strong. So children who are born to healthy parents don't get sick that easily. And so what we do, carry forward the generation that is coming for. They're, being born with weaker genes, as we go along. And that is because of, we're compromising. When we compromise our bodies and we have children, we pass that on to them. So even if it's to say you don't care about yourself, if you're going to have children, you ought to care about, what you're passing on to them. And so it's not just, and also even a responsibility to yourself to live the best life in terms of how you feel in this whatever you want to call it, the house, the temple, whatever, how you feel walking around. There are some people who they feel so awful inside their bodies that they every day, they just want to die. And the choices we make can make a difference in terms of how we feel inside our bodies. Because I was at a point where I did not feel that good in my body. Especially, I remember when I had peptic ulcer. That was my first incident of having a so-called health issue to deal with, was when I had peptic ulcer, and having, I went to the doctor, and I was given this tons of pill, and at the end of it, I was told that this is something that I just would have to monitor, because I'd have to live with it for the rest of my life, and certain foods weren't good, and so forth. Well, the diet did play a part, but the way they viewed the diet and presented it to me, I mean, I would still be having that problem for the rest of my life anyway if I continued eating that way. And so I just want to say this, don't just think of it that way in terms of from that perspective, because I think that's a selfish perspective. Whether we want to accept it or not, we do have a responsibility to the other species we share the planet with. We have a responsibility to, leave in the hurt better than how we find it, or trying to leave it at least trying to leave it no worse than how we found it by our individual actions, and we also have a responsibility to the future generation, to our children. And even if you don't have children, because I know some people say, oh, I don't have kids, why should